Hi, welcome back to our YouTube channel. In this video, I'd like to talk about the most common tariff structure used for usage-based pricing, three-part tariffs. And what better way to give you this example than to show you one of the top leaders in AI today, 11 Labs. Now, generative AI companies cannot use traditional user-based pricing because the costs are too high. If one user uses their product too much, they will be in the red. So they have to use some sort of usage-based pricing. But they can also not use just a plain pay-as-you-go model because they're not going to get any guaranteed money, right? You will use today, you won't use tomorrow. So they do need predictability. The model that helps them get predictability is a three-part tariff model. All generative companies use a three-part tariff model, and today we're going to take a look at 11 Labs and see how they do it. All right, this is 11 Labs website. This is their pricing page. They have a bunch of different plans: free, starter, creator, pro. They have 7 plans in here. This is not me critiquing their plans because I could if that was that video, but I just want to show you how this three-part tariff work. So for $5 you can buy 30,000 credits. For $22 list price you can buy 100,000 credits. For $99 you can buy 500,000, and so on, right? So this is a fixed amount of spend that you have to make, and you get a fixed amount of usage. This is a three-part tariff. You're not buying on a per seat basis. You cannot just buy a limited set. You cannot buy 60,000 credits, right? You buy 30K or you go up to 100K, or you have something called a overage fee. So if you are on, let's say, this plan, the $5 plan, you don't get an overage fee. You have to get the $22 plan, which is right now being discounted for $11 per month. Regardless, if you are on this creator plan, and you bought 100,000 characters or credits, which is 1:1 in their case, you can buy more credits for basically $0.3 per 1,000 credits. All right. And then if you bought 500,000, you could have bought based on $0.24, you can buy more credits, more 1,000 credit bundles. So all we are saying is for another quarter, you can buy another minute of audio. So how does this work? Why is this done this way? So I have laid this out here, right? So I have laid this out in a table. The list price is $22 per month, $99 per month, $330 per month, or $1,300. And these are the amount of credits you get. This is the overage fee that they have mentioned on their website per 1,000 credits. Now we can infer their price by dividing $22 divided by the amount of included credits. That comes out to 0.22. So you will see that the overage is always going to be more than the top end, like the cheapest part of the inferred price. The overage is always going to be more because it's an overage fee for a reason. If it was the same, then you would not ever move to the next plan. So they want to keep the overage price higher, so that at some point it would become more economical for you to buy the next plan rather than continuing to use that old plan on overage. If they did not have any overage, you would have a big gap between $22 and $99, and people would balk. They would say, hey, if I want to just use 120,000 credits, you're not going to let me use it. You're going to force me to get the $99 plan. I won't buy it. So they need to have overage. So they've done the three-part modeling. Sort of it works how they have done it, and I'm just showing you how three-part works. All right, now today's day and age is so good that you don't have to put this information inside Excel and make a lot of charts, which I used to do. ChatGPT just makes this plot on its own, right? So basically what it says here is that you started at $22, then you moved at some point to $99, at some point you moved to $330, and some point you moved to $1320 economically. And those economic points are not 99, 330, and 13. Like, economic points are not these credits. It is sooner. So after you use your 100,000 credits, you're going to start paying the overage. At some point, the expense for you to pay the overage will be more than if you just paid $99 for 500,000 credits. So these are the break-even points shown in the vertical lines. They're at around 350,000 credits, 1.46 million credits, and 7.5 million credits. So if I spend $22 to begin with, I will spend more money until I hit that 350K number, and I will then, it would be economically more sensible for me to buy the $99 plan because I would already have hit $99. So that's how this chart is plotted. This is a traditional 3-part tariff chart, and you can see how the economics are distributed here. Now, the only critique I have is you see the slope in the chart here and the lower slope here. This makes sense, but you would expect the slope to keep reducing. In this case, 11 Labs keeps their slope fairly high until your spend really increases, and after that the slope of the line decreases, which the slope really means just the overage price. I would suspect that they need to keep this high enough because of how much, one, their cost of goods sold, number two, that they're, given how fast they're growing, they're getting a lot of usage in the downstream plans, and so they are trying to balance between adoption, they're trying to balance between getting margin, and they're probably trying to get like the larger enterprises as well. But the larger enterprises, they're probably not going to make a lot of margin for. So the margin is coming here from the people who buy the $99, $330, especially the $99 and $330 plan. That's my guess. But anyway, I hope this was helpful for you to understand how a 3-part tariff works. And this is how most AI companies create their usage-based pricing tariff structure. Thank you.